Good morning, welcome to the channel. Today I'm working on a septic tank lid replacement. I'm going to kind of go over why this needs to be replaced, how it failed, and an option to replace it, repair it. So what we're working on today is a septic tank that's probably in the neighborhood of 50 years old, but the lid is probably less than 10 years old. Looking at the pressure treated marks, the size, the shape of the indentations, and the color of the wood is this red color. Here in California where I'm at, these tanks are quite common because the materials are abundant. This is a redwood tank, and they do well by expanding. Well, and the way a redwood tank works is you cut all the lumber tight and you piece them together tight, and then when you add water, the wood expands and creates a watertight seal for the most part. At least it'll keep the effluent in. The lid fails because microbiology. It's pressure treated wood, but typically that wood is some sort of conifer, pine, Doug fir typically here where we're at, and they soak it in some sort of caustic and antimicrobial material liquid. It used to be copper based, and that worked really well, but they found that copper solution does not do so well in stream beds and other habitats. It tends to kill off everything. Now, why would the tank last forever but the lid doesn't? Well, the tank lasts forever because when wood is submerged, it creates an anaerobic conditions surrounding the wood, and the type of biology that eats wood typically needs oxygen, and which is an aerobic condition, and in anaerobic conditions you can't quite get the breakdown that you get when there's wood that's exposed to water, dampness, air, and that cycle repeats, and that creates the perfect food for fungi microbiology. So this has failed because whoever put this on here, they used Doug fir, pressure treated Doug fir, and then they put some sort of, I'm assuming, roofing felt, and while in theory it sounds like that's a good idea, it probably helped aid in the deterioration of this wood. So what I'm going to be doing is replacing the lid with redwood, construction heart, no softwood, no sapwood in the redwood. It's a little pricier than pressure treated Doug fir, but it'll last significantly longer. And without replacing the entire tank, this is probably the best option for the client, for cost and buildability and ease of location. Most of these old septic tanks in these old mountain communities were hand dug, and they were dug in areas that machines typically can't get to. So that's a little bit about what I'm doing here today, and tomorrow I've got a pump truck scheduled. I'm going to prep the lid today and tear this out and start to replace this lid. Follow along. Thanks. This is it for the day till the pump truck comes. I'll go over a few more things before I wrap this up and backfill it. And this is why the lid failed. Fungi and microbiology. Having a better understanding of the materials you use to perform your work will give you an advantage in the long run in the quality of services you can provide and the understanding of what you're doing and why you're doing it. All this mycelium will just eat this dug fir, even if it's pressure treated. Heart redwood, though, resists fungi, insects. It's not perfect, won't last forever, but it'll do a lot better a job than Doug fir at resisting the elements.
This looks like the pedestal of a bird bath that must have fallen through the lid. I was explaining this in the video, but for some reason the audio cut out. Here I am filling the tank with water and putting the lid back on. These tanks you want to fill so that there's no cave in with the surrounding earth.
That's gonna wrap this up. This clay is really hard to spread out, so I'm just gonna dress it with a rake and call it good.